Hey, yo, listen to this breaking news. VanEck CEO says Bitcoin will break new all-time highs in the next 12 months. Now, VanEck is one of the biggest asset managers in the world. And when this CEO is in the room on CNBC and on TV, the entire room listens. All the smart people listen to this man.
For 2024 in particular, and some have been scratching their head a little bit at the behavior of Bitcoin and gold because they're saying, are they trading off the real rates? What is it that they are trading off of, and what tells you that you think they're, if this is your gut, that Bitcoin itself will outperform next?
Well, it's the macro, right? So you just stores of value that don't generate interest, which is why the investors like Warren Buffett don't like them at all. But they behave really in relation to interest rates, like you said. That's the big cycle, and interest rates are headed down, directionally speaking. So the macro behind Bitcoin and gold are very strong. By the way, they kind of do perform similarly. They both peaked in 2021. They've both been rallying this year. Obviously, Bitcoin way more than gold for different
But now
reasons.
that Bitcoin's grown up, and I promise I'll move on to other topics, but if you look at gold's performance in the 2010s, it was okay. That was all obviously the low interest rate era. If you think we're going back to kind of low rates, has Bitcoin already made the big gains and now kind of treading water?
No, because it's growing up. Like I said, it's like a child that's growing up, and so you can argue about it being a bubble. And what I say is no bubble. So it bubbled in 2017, but then it hit all-time highs in 2021. So nothing has ever been a bubble that then has outperformed itself. And so I fully expect in this cycle, and you have this halvening thing happening in April, which is great technically for Bitcoin. I expect all-time highs in the next 12 months.
So you guys are amongst those who have filed to have the first or one of many spot Bitcoin ETFs. How do you think they're going to approve it? Literally one at a time, firm by firm, or is it going to be kind of a batch all at once? Your ticker, I have to say to your credit, is HODL.
Yeah, we're very happy with the ticker, which we announced last week. But I very, very much expect it'll be all one day.
Okay.
Because that's what happened with the Ethereum futures. So because the SEC decided to sort of put everything on hold on crypto, just depending on paperwork, effectively, someone could have an unfair advantage. And they've said from a policy perspective, no, let everyone start at the same time.
You are completely unprepared for the pump TradFi marketing will bring to the Bitcoin space. Remember, every single prior pump has had TradFi screeching that Bitcoin is worthless, speculative garbage. Every single prior pump had most of the world's money managers as headwinds. This time, they will be tailwinds. You are not ready. What's even more interesting is that VanEck is putting their reputation on the line over crypto and Bitcoin. They came out with 15 crypto predictions for 2024. This is pretty dope. Let me know which ones you agree with and which ones you disagree with. All right, so prediction number 1, the U.S. recession will finally arrive, but so will the first spot Bitcoin ETF. Over $2.4 billion may flow into these ETFs in Q1 2024 to support Bitcoin's price. Number 2, the fourth Bitcoin halving in 2024 will see minimal market disruption and a post-halving rise in Bitcoin's price with significant gains for some low-cost miners. Now, prediction number 3, Bitcoin will make an all-time high in Q4 2024, potentially spurred by political events and regulatory shifts following a U.S. presidential election. Number 4, Ethereum won't flip Bitcoin in 2024, but will still outperform major tech stocks. Ethereum's market share will be challenged by other smart contract platforms. Now, prediction number 5, post EIP 4844 implementation, Ethereum layer 2s will capture the majority of EVM-compatible TVL and trading volume, Ethereum Virtual Machine, and total value locked. Prediction number 6, NFT activity will rebound to an all-time high with Ethereum leading and Bitcoin gaining traction via the Ordinals protocol, shifting the ETH to BTC NFT issuance ratio to 3-to-1 by the end of 2024. Prediction number 7, Binance will lose the number 1 position for spot trading, with competitors like OKX, Bybit, Coinbase, and BitGet contending for leadership. Coinbase's futures market may exceed 1 billion daily volume as regulated index inclusion becomes key. Prediction number 8, stablecoin market cap will reach an all-time new high above 200 billion. USDC will reverse market share losses indicating a shift towards more institutional adoption, especially on emerging layer 2 chains. Number 9, DEXs will hit all-time highs in spot trading market share, driven by fast blockchains like Solana and wallets enabling automated transactions, promoting on-chain trading and self-custody. Prediction number 10, remittances, which is money going back to countries, will boost blockchain use with Bitcoin staking on the Lightning Network, offering yield opportunities through new user-friendly staking tools. 11, a breakout blockchain game may surpass 1 million daily players. Immutable X is poised to climb market cap ranks with key releases and the Immutable Passport, streamlining wallet usage and enabling wider adoption. Number 12, Solana is projected to become a top 3 blockchain by market cap, total value locked, and users potentially surpassing Chainlink's TVS with its Pyth Oracle as DeFi TVL surges and ETF interest grows. Prediction number 13, DePIN networks, especially HiveMapper and Helium, will see increased adoption with HiveMapper mapping significant distances and Helium's 5G network expanding rapidly, offering cost-effective alternatives to traditional infrastructures. Now, prediction number 14. New accounting standards will boost corporate crypto holdings. Coinbase will report layer 2 revenue as base protocol grows. By 2025, a major financial entity may launch a quasi-public blockchain with public chain connectivity. I think it might be JP Morgan. Now, prediction number 15, KYC compliant DeFi apps led by Uniswap will likely surpass non-KYC ones, attracting institutional volume and enhancing protocol fees, which may boost Uniswap's token value. So let me know which ones you agree with, which predictions you don't agree with, which ones you see happening, which ones you even predicted yourself. But it's super interesting to see VanEck CEO talk about cryptocurrency. Now, similar to BlackRock, VanEck is one of the biggest ETF providers, and they're actually one of the first to have a gold fund. Listen to this clip where the CEO tells us why he invested in Bitcoin.
When did you get into Bitcoin? Because this is a really big thing for you and for the fund, for the firm and everything.
Yeah, 2017.
Okay.
So we were the first established ETF player to file for a Bitcoin related ETF.
Your personal interest, or what drove it?
It was me, but listen, gold, my dad started the firm with the first gold fund in the United States, and so store of value investing is in our DNA. And I said, oh man, what's this Bitcoin thing? And I knew about it, and I said, well, you've got to do the deep dive. So I listened to the podcasts, read the white paper, and I said, no, this is going to be an accompaniment of gold. And, when I try to talk to people who are so doubtful about Bitcoin, I said, listen, that was in 2017, it was $3,000 a Bitcoin. It's up 10x from now. It's just, why are you surprised? Remember China? Large parts of China were completely undeveloped and unindustrialized 30 years ago, but things change, right? And so I think Bitcoin is the obvious asset that is growing up in front of our eyes.
I guess the two, and I watch it and I concede that it actually has behaved remarkably like gold and some kind of store of value. Proxy, I can't quite put my finger on why, but you do think, well, there could always be some new thing that comes along. Bitcoin itself was innovative. There could be some new version of this down the road that takes people's interest. And number two, the Jamie Dimon critique that there's so much nefarious stuff associated with it that there's still a regulatory risk that, stymies it.
There's a lot of political risk around it, absolutely. But what I say as far as something else coming along, there's 50 million users of Bitcoin, so it's got network effects. I think that's impossible for me to imagine some other, what I call it, internet store of value that's going to get leapfrog Bitcoin. So that's number one. As far as the criminality and all that kind of stuff, listen, I don't throw the first stone if you're associated with the bank or any financial institution that's never been involved with criminals in one shape or another. I'll leave it at that.